At the beginning of the film, we observe smoke rising from the plain sprawling between the mountains. The fire is greedily licking the metal of an old trailer. The main character waves away the memory by looking out the window and asks her boyfriend to get up. He wants to lie down for 5 minutes, however Sylvia forbids him to do this. Without getting dressed, she opens the window and thoughtfully lets the smoke out of her mouth. Women walking with children notice Sylvia and quicken their steps. The girl hears the front door slam. Sylvia gets dressed and goes outside, where a friend drives up to her. Laura laughs when she finds out that the girl was with another guy, and hopes that she at least knows his name. Sylvia looks slightly at the man at the other end of the street, who seems to be watching her. As the friends pull away, Carlos follows behind them. Together with Laura, the girl makes her way to the restaurant where she works. Sylvia talks to Lawrence and finds out what they have on the menu for today. After tasting the dishes, she passes by the cook with whom she spent the night. Sylvia goes into the hall and greets the guests. One of the waitresses informs her of the special guests. She comes to the table, where imposing men sit, and helps them choose a drink for their order. Sylvia notices that one of the guests is looking at her with interest. During a break, the girl goes down to the beach and sits on the rocks. At the sound of the surf, Sylvia lifts her dress and hurts her leg. The girl then walks to the edge of the cliff and looks intently at the crashing waves. When Sylvia returns, a guest suggests she go on a date. She refuses, as it is not in her rules. Their conversation is noticed by the same cook, named John. After work, the girl still invites the guest to her home. Carlos closely follows them. As they play, Sylvia remembers those days on the plains again. A group of 3 guys drive up to a burnt-out trailer. One of them, named Santiago, tells them that this is where his father, Nick, and his mistress lost their lives. The fire started because of a gas leak. Upon returning home, Santiago is angry that Cristobal took a friend with him to make a show out of the tragedy that happened to their father. The brothers quarrel and separately return home. In the kitchen, their mother, their aunt, and her friend are drinking. In the evening, Santiago hears them scolding his father, believing that he has ruined everyone's life. The boy tries to distract himself from the shouting and plays on the computer. The next day, the funeral should to take place. The aunt comes out to Santiago and says that neither she nor his mother will go anywhere, as Nick doesn't deserve it. During the funeral, the guy notices a man with 3 children nearby. It turns out to be the husband of Nick's dead mistress. The man screams that his most precious have been taken from him. But Santiago pays attention not to his words, but to his daughter. The grown man works as a pilot. Together with his friend, Carlos Santiago agrees to an order to cultivate the fields. Going to the plain, a man calls his daughter Maria and offers to go with them. Upon reaching the right ranch, the friends flip a coin. Santiago realizes that he is the one who has to cultivate the field. Carlos decides to go to town on his bicycle, and Maria offers to cook dinner in the meantime. The action is transported back in time. Nick, still alive, meets his mistress on a deserted road. The man tells her that they can spend time in an abandoned trailer. Gina agrees, and Nick brings her to the new place, after which he kisses her passionately. Meanwhile, Marianne, the woman's daughter, tries to cook dinner to feed all her brothers. Gina, who has returned, lies that she has been delayed by a long queue at the supermarket. The action returns to Sylvia. The next day, the girl arrives at work and learns that the senator has made a reservation with them. Sylvia hustles Lawrence and calms down the jealous cook. She acts friendly to the guests, but tough and demanding with the waiters. After work, Sylvia is picked up by her new lover. Laura is amazed by the girl's success and says she wants the same man in her next life. Sylvia is going to the car when she is stopped again by John. The man is angry that the girl wants to spend the night with a guest and behaves coldly with him. Sylvia advises the cook to deal with his wife, after which she gets into the car. John doesn't let the lovers leave and demands to talk to the girl. Sylvia quarrels with him and is going to walk home by foot. However, it starts to rain. Carlos, who is standing nearby, offers to drive the girl. The action returns to the past. Young Santiago watches Gina's funeral and follows the car to find out where her family lives. The boy sits outside the house for a long time when he notices Marianne, who has gone out to the shop. Santiago talks to the girl and offers to go for a visit the other day to learn more about Gina and her connection to his father. Marianne agrees to this. A grown-up Santiago continues to cultivate the field. Maria sees her father's plane crash. Even earlier, Gina, about to sneak out to her lover, is surprised to see her husband return early. The woman, on an excuse, wants to leave in the evening, but her husband wants to go with her. The returning children interrupt the dialogue. Before a trip to the shop, Gina lies that she forgot her purse. Marianne also returns home to go to the restroom and hears her mother talking affectionately to someone. Gina lies again, saying she was talking to her aunt. At the shop, the woman still finds an excuse to escape. Instead of the fabric shop, Gina goes to her lover. The action returns to Sylvia. Carlos drives the girl home and enters the house at her invitation. Sylvia begins to seduce the man, but he silently leaves. Earlier, Santiago still gets to meet Marianne at the old mill. The girl admits that she doesn't know how Gina met her lover. Marianne angrily denies that she could be like her mother. The girl manages to hit a bird with a slingshot, and Santiago offers to roast it on the fire. Marianne takes the hot bird surprisingly easily, even though the guy burned his fingers on it. Santiago shows the girl a photo of his father. Marianne assures him that he looks nothing like Nick. A grown-up Santiago ends up in the hospital after an accident. He asks Carlos to take Maria and go and search for the girl's mother. Having learned about it, Maria is very angry and doesn't want to get acquainted with a woman she didn't know. However, Carlos manages to get the girl to come with him. In the past, Gina meets again with her lover, who helps her to overcome complexes. Late at night, the woman returns home. Marianne doesn't believe that Gina stayed late at her aunt's house. Therefore, the next day, the girl sends her younger brothers to school, and herself follows her mother. Marianne sees her at the trailer with her lover. Carlos approaches Sylvia, wandering along the embankment. The man calls her Marianne and asks to talk about her daughter. Sylvia goes away and asks him to leave her alone. At home, however, she looks at a photo of a newborn baby. In the past, Santiago and Marianne continue to see each other on the plane. The girl gives the boy a photo of herself, but as a reward, asks him to leave them both with lighter scars. In the evening, Santiago takes the girl home. The boy asks to stay at Marianne's house for the night while her father is away. The girl agrees, and at night, she and Santiago are alone together. The action returns to Sylvia. At work, the girl is behaving strangely and cannot concentrate after her conversation with Carlos. Sylvia asks John to come out with her and starts a serious conversation. She proposes to run away somewhere today to be together and start a new life. However, John reacts to such a proposal with skepticism. The upset girl comes home, however. Carlos and Maria are waiting for her there. Sylvia runs away, which upsets the girl. The action moves to Gina. After another meeting with her lover, the woman comes home late. Marianne talks to her mother and says that she doesn't believe that she was at her aunt's house. Gina sinks into heavy thoughts. The next day, the woman meets Nick at the supermarket and suggests ending their relationship. The man disagrees and says he will wait for Sylvia every day at 12 o'clock in the trailer. Gina tries to make amends with the family and has a picnic in the backyard. Marianne doesn't stay with the family and goes to the trailer. The girl wanders around it and examines the environment. Sylvia arrives at Laura's house. She tells her friend that she gave birth to Maria and left her because she thought she didn't deserve her. Together with Laura, she goes to Carlos's room. The man is angry that Sylvia ran away yesterday and won't let them in. Laura and her friend move into a neighboring room. The next day, Sylvia manages to have a conversation with her daughter. Maria wants that the girl go with them to Santiago. The action returns to Gina. She holds back for a long time, but then still goes to her lover's trailer. Marianne turns up the gas tank to scare them a little. Later, Marianne and Santiago's relationship continues to grow, but this doesn't please Nick's second son. Both families gang up their children. Mariana gets a slap in the face from her father. Gina continues to date her lover. Marianne sets the grass on fire to scare her mother and Nick. However, a tank catches fire from it and the trailer goes up in flames. Sylvia, Maria, and Carlos reach the hospital. The doctor tells them that Santiago will have to lose his leg. Sylvia stays with the man and confesses to him that she took their parents' lives. The girl cries and says she didn't mean to do it, and she can still smell it. Sylvia blames herself all her life for this act. That is why she ran away after giving birth to her daughter, as she thought herself unworthy of such a small miracle. Sylvia begs Santiago to wake up and doesn't understand why he wanted her to come back and meet Maria. The action moves backwards. Condemned by their families, Marianne and Santiago decide to run away and start a new life. Sylvia returns to Maria's house after the hospital. The girl notices an old burn on the character's arm. Sylvia lies that she got it by accident. Maria then tells her that she has seen her father with the same scar in the same place. Santiago tells her that he made it so that he would never forget the girl he loved. Maria is angry because she thinks her mother will leave again when the man recovers. The next day, Sylvia goes with the girl to the hospital. She apologizes to Maria for leaving and promises to make things right. As she enters the ward with the girl, Sylvia remembers all the moments with Santiago and her mother. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.